Hey guys, Zach here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Gashapon Godzilla 1954 2016 edition. Now, this version of Godzilla comes from the 1954 film Godzilla King of the Monsters, or as it's known as in Japan, Gojira, which is honestly one of my favorite movies of all time. It's not my #1 favorite movie of all time. At least in my opinion, that movie will never be as good as Jurassic Park. But I still think that it is a great movie. A great soundtrack, great characters, great special effects for 1954, and honestly, it's still a great movie. So if you have not seen the original Godzilla King of the Monsters or Gojira, then definitely give it a watch. It is a great movie. I do hear that the Japanese version is better, but I have not seen the Japanese version. I've only seen the American version, so yeah. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's get into this. So starting off with the paint on this figure. The paint on this figure, for what it is, it's not terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's not much paint here, but the paint that is here doesn't look terrible for what it is. So taking a look at the head here, we can see that the eyes are painted white with black pupils. Unfortunately, the claws aren't painted, but the toe claws are painted a grayish color. The dorsal plates are painted gray with bits of black in the middle, which it doesn't look great, but considering the size of this figure, it works, so yeah. And yeah, most of this figure is a black color, and it looks nice. It's not groundbreaking or anything like that, but it's simple, but it's not sloppy, especially for the size of this figure, because this thing is actually very tiny. But we'll get into size comparisons in a minute, so yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the paint. It's not terrible, but it's not special either. It's all it needs to be, so it gets a pass. Now take a look at the articulation, and I was going to say there's none, but then I remembered these figures come unassembled, or disassembled, I should say, sorry. I know grammar, don't worry, but basically, when you do get this figure, he basically comes in pieces like this, and you basically have to put him back together, which is very simple, so just take the base end of the tail right here and just plug that in. Take the other piece of the tail, plug that in, take this leg here, push it in, and complete it with the other leg. So, yeah. And there you go. That's all you need to do. It's very simple, so, yeah. But other than that, there's not really articulation on this figure, so, yeah. No articulation, so it doesn't get a pass. However, that's fine, because it really doesn't need articulation, so yeah. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpt on this figure is actually very nice, and actually reminds me of the SH Monster Arts 1954 figure. There's nothing really too much to point out, other than the fact that this is actually very screen accurate. I guess if there's one thing, the jaw is very slight. This is very small, but it's a little like, it's not really like aligning with the upper jaw, but other than that, the sculpt on this figure is pretty good for what it is, so it gets a pass. Now I'll take a look at the detailing, and again, the detailing is, you know, for what it is, not bad. So taking a look at the head, we can see some scaling, which looks nice. A bit sloppy, but still nice. The ears are detailed alright. And we have more scaling going down the body, which looks okay. Not terrible, but not great either. And the feet are detailed alright. And we have some creases right here, which is trying to be accurate to the suit, and I actually really do appreciate that. So, yeah. Anyway, going to the tail, we have some creases, and we have some more scales, which look okay. The dorsal plates are detailed okay as well. And the smaller spikes on the tail look nice as well. And that's pretty much it for the detailing on this figure. It's not terrible, but this is a small figure, so I can forgive that, so it gets a pass and a half. And at the end of the day, should you get this, I'd say yeah. I got the whole set for, I think I got it for 20 bucks, which really isn't bad. And this is like a whole set of figures that came out in 2016. it was a set of 3, which came with this figure. It came with Bio Goji, and it came with Shin Godzilla. Obviously to tie in with the movie Shin Godzilla. And I think each of these figures don't cost much. I think on Amazon, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I might have saw something like $4 or $3. I'm not too sure, but I think you can get this figure for very cheap, as well as the rest of the line. So I'd say it wouldn't hurt you if you bought it, but there are better things to buy, so yeah. So at the end of the day, it wouldn't kill you. You know, this is still a nice little figure to have, but it's also not really the best. So yeah, I still like this for what it is, but anyway, if you want to know how big this figure is, here he is next to Dr. Billy Grant. Alright, now that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zek out.